Hello and welcome to the astrology forecast for the week of April 28th, 2025. My name is Molly Flowers. Let's get into it. The green days this week, days when there are more opportunities, there's more flow, you have better luck, there's more ease in the skies, and it's easier to move forward. May 1st, May 2nd, May 4th. All right, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Red days, when there's friction, more challenges, more tension in the skies, more awareness needed to navigate the times. We don't have any red days this week, so yay. There's not much to get in your way this week. It's just Venus moving into fire sign Aries on Wednesday afternoon, creating some sweet and soft energy through her connection with Neptune. Neptune is also wide-eyed and fresh-faced in the first degree of Aries, the first couple of degrees of Aries, only been there since the end of March. This Venus-Neptune vibe invites you to self-love, Venus in Aries, self-love on a whole new level. Not only just self-love, Venus in Aries, but self-devotion, Venus and Neptune in Aries. Fantastic. Just really get into yourself. This Venus-Neptune vibe invites you to self-love on a whole new level. And it should prove helpful in any matters where you are seeking to make a good impression, a good first impression. Whether you are wooing your beloved or meeting potential new clients or choosing paint colors or shooting video or making graphic design choices. This is fabulous energy for that. Fan-fabulous. The signs most affected by Venus meeting up with Neptune and Aries are going to be Taurus, Libra, Pisces, and of course, Aries. On Friday, something you might not see on the calendar unless you have my calendar, has it. Go ahead and download it. You can get it for free on Patreon. On Friday, Mars is going to move out of the retrograde shadow, okay? Mars spent a long time in Cancer, finally moved into Leo, and earlier in April, Mars moved into Leo. And finally, this Friday, Mars is going to exit the retrograde shadow. That means that Mars came to this point back in the fall, went through a long retrograde cycle, backed all the way back into Cancer, and now has finally reached the point where the retrograde started and is going to pass and move on. Finally breaking free of the long and complicated retrograde cycle and moving into new territory for the first time since December. You have been closing out an old cycle, wrapping up a major chapter of your life. And now, with Mars gaining traction and breaking new ground, you may also be leaving the past behind and seeing new possibilities. The signs most affected by Mars moving into new territory are going to be Aries and Leo. Over the weekend, Mercury is going to line up in a sextile with Jupiter. This emphasizes communication and language and the Mercury realm, right? The power of communication, language, and logic flows into expansive, optimistic, and abundant Jupiter, clearing the way for you to travel, teach, learn something new, manifest your intentions by saying them out loud, speaking them or writing them, putting them into words, or just enjoy some good times with loved ones. The signs most affected, most benefited by this sextile, although everybody benefits, the signs that are most affected are Aries, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Fabulous. And Virgo. Let's talk about work this week. Work and ambition and the goals that you have. Load your schedule with tasks that involve graphic design, aesthetic choices, colors, and moods. If you're working over the weekend, the vibes are great for travel and sales over the week. Let's talk about love and connection. Venus in Aries emphasizes your self-esteem, self-love, and building up your confidence. Venus contacting with Neptune at the end of the week brings a spiritual vibe to connections that gets stronger as the week progresses and peaks on Venus's day, Friday, Freya's day. Venus in Aries is all about self-love, loving yourself. Tune in with your wants and your needs, your dreams and your fantasies. Let it be about you for once, right? The mental energy clears by Saturday. So Venus conjunct Neptune can be a little foggy. So by Saturday, your mind should feel clearer, setting up a great weekend for an adventure. So let's talk about health and well-being and your energy. Venus's dance with Neptune this week at the front door of Aries can be a challenge for sobriety. So stay strong if that is your struggle, if that is your path. Stay strong, because this too shall pass, like all things. This is especially true for junk food addiction and sugar addiction, as Venus-Neptune increases cravings for your drug of choice, and Venus does rule sugar. If you're in recovery, stay strong and have some healthy fun that does not involve things that are going to not benefit you in the long run. Let's talk about where we are in the lunar cycle. Monday finds us just past the intense Taurus new moon. It's not just a brand new week on Monday, it's a brand new monthly cycle too. Take care of calls and details and planning and logistics Tuesday and Wednesday as the moon chats her way through Gemini. You can more easily execute on those plans and intentions as the moon moves through Cancer on Thursday and Friday, and then enjoy the fun and passionate and creative energies of the Leo moon over the weekend. Also, the moon is in the first quarter nearly the whole week. That's the immature waxing phase. Okay, the moon has just begun waxing, and that means that it takes a little while for the momentum to build. Meanwhile, it's a great time to gather your resources if you need to do any shopping or ordering, ask your questions, conduct interviews, conduct divination, pull some cards, whatever you want to do. Get prepared, start to set up for this next lunar cycle. Check in with your plans or make your plans and revisit your intentions and your goals. Awesome. I'm going to pick a few cards for this week, a few tarot cards to help guide us through this week. Spirit, what do my readers and listeners need to know about this week? Just a little bit of guidance. All right. Oh, we pulled the Death card. Death and the King of Swords. All right. I'm sorry. That is the Queen of Swords. We pulled Death and the Queen of Swords. All right. Death. Death is kind of a loaded card, especially if you don't read tarot, because it's scary. Yeah, it looks scary. It's the Grim Reaper, right? We're like, oh no, death. Usually that does not mean a physical death. Usually that means you are going through some changes. And sometimes death is really good because it means that something that has been vexing you is leaving your life. Okay? So it can be a real relief. It can be a real relief. Okay? So some situation is ending. Some situation is coming to its natural close. All right. Usually it doesn't mean that somebody in your life is dying. Usually that means something is coming to a close. You're finalizing your divorce. You are selling your car, selling your home. You are splitting from a friend that wasn't really a friend. Something like that. And then the support we got is the Queen of Swords. And this means that you got to be clear. You got to be willing to see the truth about the situation. You've got to be a little bit ruthlessly logical in order to make this thing happen. And this can also suggest that the death, the change, whatever is closing in your life will result in you coming to a new level of clarity about your life, yourself, your situation. So all in all, to me, it looks like a pretty positive change. So I wish you all the best. Enjoy your week. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe or go over to my Patreon, and then you will get an email every time I upload a new forecast on Monday for free. And I also have paid tiers if you want to get the forecasts more in advance. But go ahead and sign up for free, and then you'll get a notification in your email box. Easy peasy. And you'll remember to come back and see my new forecast, and that would be great. So if you're still watching, leave me a comment. Let me know what you're up to this week, what you're doing. And if you have any comments, questions about the forecast, I'm around and I'd love to hear them. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. This is Miss Flowers signing off.